Oh, surprise! If you recognize that music, then you know what this is about. If not, then please listen up. You may or may not know that as well as the Total Soccer Show, Taylor and I have been producing a weekly show for TopDrawerSoccer.com. It's called the Top Drawer Soccer Show, the Top Drawer Soccer Show, and it's focused on youth development and up-and-coming young players, mostly about American up-and-coming players. If you like the Total Soccer Show and you're interested in the future of American soccer and up-and-coming players, the Top Drawer Soccer Show should be right in those overlapping Venn diagrams, we hope. On a recent episode, I talked to Travis Clark. You probably know Travis Clark from Twitter or from Top Drawer Soccer. He's a guy we've known for a good few years, ever since he was the DC United beat writer. And on this week's episode, Travis and I, in response to the US's disappointing performances against Costa Rica and Honduras, we went through position by position and did our US Next Generation 11. We looked at every position and who the exciting young players coming through are who could play for the US men's national team. What you're about to hear is a brief excerpt from Wednesday's show, because it publishes on Wednesday. What you're about to hear is a brief excerpt from Wednesday's show, and we're talking about strikers. So it's 2 or 3 minutes of us talking about strikers and the future of that position for the US men's national team. If you want to hear the full 11 and our suggestions for every position, you've got to go and subscribe to the Top Drawer Soccer Show. It's available on every possible platform except, I believe, Spotify and SoundCloud. But it's in iTunes, it's in Google Play, it's in Pocket Cast, Overcast, Stitcher, all those guys. When you search for the show, remember, Top Drawer Soccer is all one word. So it's the Top Drawer Soccer, all one word, show. Top Drawer Soccer Show. Please go and subscribe. 1, you'll enjoy it. 2, you'll be supporting a TSS venture. And if you're on the fence, here's that clip I was talking about. All right, so let's move to our forward line then. Who are your 2 forwards for the future, Travis?
So, shock of all shockers, Josh Sargent.
Yes.
Josh Sargent, which I'm sure is on your roster.
Yep.
As well. He's obviously the number 9. One of the most exciting forwards, speaking of overhype, one of the most exciting forwards I've seen come through the youth ranks, just in terms of his ability to, play that classic number 9 role. I was able to watch the US U17s play at the Nike friendlies last December, where they just kind of crushed through Brazil and Portugal and Turkey.
Yep.
And to see Sargent's ability to not just finish and make that look easy, but his ability to connect play and to hold the ball up. He kind of does it all. And
yep. That's the first thing I wrote in my notes when I was sort of listing the reasons why I was excited about him and why he's someone who might contribute to the US national team in the medium-term future. The first thing I wrote was hold-up play, because I feel like we don't really have a forward that can do that really successfully right now in the way that I've seen Josh Sargent do it for the U17s, and after a kind of rough start for the U20s. He had some hold-up play playing up three age groups, right? Or up 3 years. And that suggests that he can figure out even a physical challenge. Because it's not like he's a giant, right? It's not some 7-foot muscular guy we're putting up there. He's only 5'11" and not particularly wide. So it seems like a lot of the hold-up play is very cerebral and figuring things out, as opposed to just bulldozing his way through.
Right. Well, that's why it was so exciting to see him do well at the Under-20 World Cup, because he's playing with guys a couple years older, maybe 3 years older, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to see, he obviously was not going to win a lot of those physical battles, but as you kind of mentioned, his ability to just find the spaces and get on the end of crosses, and he's finished the tournament, I believe, with 4 goals from 4 appearances, which I think the last person to do that was Josie Altidore. So,
all right.
They
could soon partner. They could partner each other. It could be old man Altidore and this young up and comer Josh Sargent
at the 2026 World Cup, right?
Yeah, it could be.
When we still haven't replaced Josie Altidore as the number 9.
Yeah, Altidore will be the Clint Dempsey of his day.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing with Sargent too, I think it's worth mentioning his club situation. Obviously, hasn't turned 18 yet. Linked to Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga, and it's an opportunity to kind of make the right decision to set your club career on the right track and to become, put yourself in the environment where you're going to get games, even if it's a 19, you start at the U19s like Weston McKennie did. You work your way up to the top.
So there you go. That was a clip from the recent Top Drawer Soccer Show where we pick our future US men's national team 11. You heard Travis mention Weston McKennie at the end there. He made both of our 11s. We're both super excited about him. Lots more players in there to talk about as well. So once again, search for Top Drawer Soccer Show. Top Drawer Soccer is all one word in any podcast player except I think Spotify and SoundCloud. But what are you going to do? Any other podcast player, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Undercast, is that one? Possibly not. All the links, I'll put links in the show notes so you can easily find it. But please support the Total Soccer Show by subscribing to Top Drawer Soccer, and you'll get some really good audio content into the bargain. All right, thank you for taking the time to listen today. And here's a bit more of that pleasantly spiky Top Drawer Soccer Show theme song.